So, we're going to talk about Nijisanji, which is a VTube agency, which has been under a lot of fire when they fired Celine Tatsuki and all the backlash that came from it. But I don't know the intricacies of VTube agencies because they're a relatively new thing, right? Like, you have Hololive, you have V Shoujo, Nijisanji here. There's probably a couple of others, but I know those are the big ones. But I do know that, like, say when Silverwolf left the Shoujo, right? See, when they give a talent the VTube avatar, it's pretty much tainted. Like, they can't just use the same VTube avatar but with a different person because people can tell the difference, right? It's like changing the voice actor in an anime. Like, people can tell. And like what some VTube avatars plus assets can go anywhere from 2 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand, depending on all the assets used for the streaming and the avatar. So that's a lot of money putting into a VTuber when, like, with a company. Now, obviously, the company makes a sizable chunk of the talent's money. Like any super chats and any of that's been given. But again, why VTubers would join companies in the like VTube companies and organizations in the first place is that they give them free publicity. They already have a base audience, right? And again, they get the avatar and all the assets along with the avatar, and they get brand deals and sponsors and partnerships. So it does have its perks, right, over just being an independent and having to, sort of reach out for yourself. Now it's been done, right? But again, in Silverwolf's case, when she left Hololive, not Hololive, damn it, when she left V Shoujo, I mean, she clearly took all that with her. And when, well, I'm not going to say. Let's just say when another V Shoujo talent was hired, and both of these was in the wake of the whole Hogwarts Legacy situation, when apparently, you know, playing a video game means you're transphobic, right? So doing the one thing that you literally want to do makes you playing a game, consuming is transphobic, and people attacked Silverwolf for it, and it was the first time on the internet. Well, that's a lie. First time since Gamergate where it didn't matter what political or what social ideology you were a part of, right? You had Redditors that are shitposting assholes, and you had the blue-haired, fucking depressed feminists on Tumblr coming together just to defend Civil War. If it's like, okay, who made the fox bunny, whatever the fuck, little woman cry, right? We're gonna go after them. We're gonna defend them because people have had enough of this whole internet idea that a bunch of people can go clickety clack on the keyboard and genuinely harass VTubers just for playing a game, right? Because this is the thing that Polygon, Kotaku, these sites that, like, these journalists that claim that they're against hate towards women, but then you have VTuber women getting harassed by people for simply playing a game, and they say, and all you hear is fucking crickets, like nothing. They're like, oh, well, it never happened. And it's like, well, I see. I see what's going on here. But in the case of Nijisanji, like, I think signing the NDA is probably one of the most interesting things when signing for a organization, a V2 organization, because they can fire you and state whatever reason, even if it's not true, right? But you're not supposed to say anything because you signed the NDA, you would be liable. So, there was a case. I don't know if it was Nijisanji in particular, but there's a VTuber who, let's say she sold interesting services to some of her subs in real life, like IRL. And that got her in trouble and terminated. And then there's a situation with, I don't know, a situation with Silver Wolf. I don't know if she really collabs with people other than smaller VTubers anymore. But the NDA just makes it weird because they can just flat out, the organization can state any reason they want, right? It's like, and what the hell's her name? Celine Tatsuki's situation, like, she was apparently hospitalized, according to her friend, due to a toxic environment. Like, there wasn't a clear reason why she was hospitalized, and the idea was she wanted to get to leave on January, but then Nijisanji terminated her earlier, and according to them, it was due to her refusing to pay some of the artists. I'm pretty sure is what it said in this article. I pre-read this article because there was one big point I wanted to say. I'll get to it, but it's not said in here. Right? Yeah, it was been claimed that Celine did not comply and been refuted by several artists she has worked with, who verified that the VTuber would pay out of pocket for any stream related expenses. So yeah, apparently Nijisanji makes their talent pay out of pocket for like contests, and for like streaming assets and VTuber assets, which is relatively odd. I don't know if HoloLive or VShojo does the same thing, but that's very interesting given that Nijisanji takes a decent chunk of their wages. Yeah, the streaming detailing, the condition of the contest. Yeah, it was over some contest that she did, and that would come out of her personal funds. For talents themselves have been extremely sudden, and anonymous talent told Polygon while reporting on the early look at state of VTube industry, and sometimes you can't even share information that would correct any kind of misunderstanding or prevent harassment. It turns into a benefit of a doubt kind of situation, where the only thing you can speak for you is your already existing content. Even then, given that there isn't any real explanation, it creates a divide between the consumer and the agency. Yeah, again, that's talking about the whole NDA situation. So, the company can say whatever they want about you, but you're not allowed. You just cannot refute anything under perjury, under the threat of perjury. After termination, details emerged about what transpired between Celine and her former agency. It was revealed that she was hospitalized due to poor management and a toxic work environment, and had intended to part with Nijisanji amicably on June 26th. that didn't happen. Celine didn't even know what it was going to be announced. Doki said, which I believe is one of her other VTube friends. In a comment, Celine didn't know the content of the announcement before it dropped. Celine didn't know the date of the time, and Celine was just lucky enough to be awake when it happened. Celine wasn't aware this was the route that was going to be taken. Celine never wanted to drop the statement in the announcement. Didn't go up the way it did, and Celine was willing to keep the information hidden, as Celine didn't want the public to know the reason she was hospitalized. So yeah, they dropped the cold water on her while she was in the hospital. And Nijisanji is a very interesting company because again they went the route of most companies where they're talking about wanting diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is effectively nepotism. But for a VTube company, why? For a Japanese VTube company, why do you care about goofy Western values that don't benefit anybody? This is very odd, very odd. Honestly, the reception to that has been incredibly overwhelming, and Celine really appreciated everyone for supporting me throughout all of this. It means a lot to see so many friends voicing their support for me and voicing their testimonies. Yeah, apparently some of the other talent is kind of stepping away from social media and streaming, and this company, Hype Brand, has sort of chose to stand with Celine, and they terminate their projects with Nijisanji. So yeah, Nijisanji is under some fat criticism. And take this for a grain of salt, because this is the entire reason I'm making the video. I usually don't care for VTuber drama, but I care how like businesses present themselves to the consumer, right? Apparently, one of their talents that they terminated had a couple of like mental issues and mental problems, and I don't know if it was someone working at Nijisanji, but they're like, oh well, there's plenty of depressed women to go around. We can just hire another one. And I'm paraphrasing here. I'm like, for a company, there's a level of decor that should be maintained. Even if you're the most greedy, the most capitalistic, the most cutthroat company on the planet, there's a certain level of decorum that's expected. I mean, you're a company. You represent the interest of the organization. You don't just say stupid shit. Now, I don't know what happened to the person that said that, but, well, apparently, no, Nijisanji's just going into my shit list because of it. Why do I care? Well, because I'm some goofy ass idiot on the internet who withholds the right to have an opinion. Thank you very little. And Nijisanji is very bad. Excuse my French. But, I mean, that's all I gotta say about this. Again, I don't care for VTube drama, but seeing an organization who, I think it even mentioned in here, owned by someone who's one of the biggest millionaires in Japan. Where does it say that? I think it's first row. I think his name is Any Color. Oh yeah, apparently their stock continued to plummet, which is pretty high. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. But no, it's pretty bad situation, but that's all I gotta say about that. See ya.